At independence, the political landscape of India was divided between British provinces and 549 separate princely states. Today, those fragmented borders have been replaced by the organized map of a unified republic. Reaching this level of stability required decades of shifting boundaries, administrative reclassifications, and changes to the constitution itself. Keeping track of every date and boundary shift can feel overwhelming without a clear structure. By tracing the specific progression of Articles 1 through 4 and the resulting constitutional amendments, we can map out this evolution step by step. Converting this historical record into a logical timeline is the most effective way to master the complexities of Indian polity. Step 1 begins with Article 1. It describes India as a union of states rather than a federation. Dr. B.R. explained that this choice was intentional. It clarifies that the states are not part of the union through a voluntary agreement, and therefore they have no right to secede. This diagram illustrates the specific legal terminology. The territory of India is a much broader category than the Union of India. While the Union includes only the states, the territory encompasses those states, all Union territories, and any land India may acquire in the future. The Constitution manages this land through two distinct powers. Article 2 is strictly external. It allows Parliament to admit or establish new states that were not previously part of the country. Article 3, meanwhile, is strictly internal. It authorizes Parliament to form new states by separating territory, to alter existing boundaries, or even to change a state's name without its consent. Because Parliament can unilaterally erase or redraw state borders, the Constitution does not guarantee the continued existence of any state. This makes India an indestructible union composed of destructible states. This table shows the complex system used in 1950, which classified territories into 4 categories: Part A, B, C, and D states. There was immediate pressure to reorganize these territories based on language. However, in 1948, the Dhar Commission and the JVP Committee, which included Jawaharlal Nehru, formally advised against using linguistic factors for state creation. That stance changed in 1953. Following intense popular agitation and the death of activist Poti Sri Ramalu after a 56-day hunger strike, the government created Andhra, the first state based specifically on language. This prompted a nationwide review by the Fazal Ali Commission. Their recommendations led to the States Reorganization Act of 1956, which aimed to simplify the map across linguistic lines. This list shows the immediate outcome of the 1956 Act. The old 4-fold system was abolished, replaced by a streamlined map of 14 states and 6 union territories. The map of 1956 serves as the baseline. From this point on, all modern state boundary changes follow a clear chronological progression. We can track this evolution on a timeline. In 1960, the state of Bombay was split into Maharashtra and Gujarat. By 1963, Nagaland was formed from the state of Assam, and in 1966, the Punjab region was bifurcated to create Haryana. Moving into 1972, the map of the Northeast changed significantly. Manipur, Tripura, and Meghalaya were all elevated from their previous statuses to full statehood. In 1975, the timeline marks the full integration of Sikkim. After serving as an associate state, it became the 22nd state of the Union through the 36th Constitutional Amendment Act. Following the elevation of Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Goa in the late 80s, the year 2000 saw 3 more states created on the mainland: Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. This specific era of state creation concludes in 2014, when the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act bifurcated the state to create Telangana. Notice how the drivers for change shifted over time. The large-scale linguistic reorganizations of the 50s gave way to smaller-scale changes based on administrative convenience and cultural identity in later decades. This section of the text details the 100th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2015. It was required for the exchange of territory with Bangladesh because, while internal borders are changed by simple law, ceding territory to a foreign power requires a formal amendment to the Constitution. In 2019, the government utilized its reorganization powers in a new way. The state of Jammu and Kashmir was reorganized into 2 separate union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. This was followed in 2020 by an administrative merger, combining Dadra and Nagar Haveli with Daman and Diu into a single union territory. These recent actions show that Article 3 remains an active tool, allowing the government to reshape India's geopolitical reality as administrative needs evolve. We have now traced the progression from the fragmented map of 1947 to the baseline of 1956, following the timeline of statehood right up to the present day. This table provides the current count resulting from this entire evolutionary process: 28 states and 8 union territories. Having this structured timeline is essential for exams. When you are asked to order the creation of states or identify the reach of Article 3, you can now navigate the answer using a clear historical sequence. India's geography is a direct output of its legal framework, a map that the Parliament continues to refine to meet the administrative and cultural needs of the Union.